So it looks like Wendy Osefo from the Real Housewives of Potomac is breaking her silence after being arrested for insurance fraud with her husband, Eddie Osefo. And you might be surprised at who in her cast is actually showing support to her.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So as you know, Wendy Osefo and Eddie Osefo were arrested over a week ago for insurance fraud. They're facing multiple felonies and misdemeanors. Wendy's facing 16 charges, Eddie's facing 18 charges. We've covered this extensively, so if you want the full nitty-gritty details, be sure to check out some of the videos and podcasts that we've done on this. But a quick update on this. They released a statement after their arrest, thanking everyone for their support and saying that they were taking the time to focus on their family. They only spent a night in jail. We got to see the mugshots that people still like, why are they smiling in the mugshots? But there are a lot of people now picking apart some of the things that Wendy has said over the years and what she's currently saying on the new season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Last week, there was supposed to be the season premiere of Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition, and Wendy was supposed to be the first episode. They've now delayed the start of the Wife Swap series, and they will be starting this week. No confirmation on whether or not they're going to include Wendy's episode at all, and maybe just at a later date. Who knows? Andy Cohen has spoken about this on his radio program. He was even recently stopped by TMZ being asked about it. And he's had nothing but glowing things to say about Wendy, saying that she's always led with her education and always being above board. And when asked about the cast response, specifically what Ashley had to say, when Ashley says we're making melodies and not felonies over here, a lot of people felt like that was very distasteful of Ashley. And Andy Cohen is like, this is sometimes what the housewives do. Don't sit here and act like you're innocent, Andy. This is something that you encourage on your platform. You encourage it on your Real Housewives series, and you encourage it on Watch What Happens Live. You're not innocent, but you can be the innocent party and be like, we wish her well. No, you are going to profit off of this drama. Hence why cameras were up literally the Friday that this was all made public to all of us. Fast forward to today, Wendy took to social media to break her silence. A very important thing to note, as you know, it's a part of their contractual obligation to post on social media for the show. Hence why in her caption, Wendy says, "And through it all, God remains faithful. Thank you for the outpouring of love, support, and prayers for myself, and most importantly, my family during this time." She says, "We are forever grateful." Prayer hand emojis. She then says, "Tune in to Bravo TV tonight for a new episode of #RHOP." And she posted this with two beautiful photos. Shout out to our friends over at Fashion Bomb Daily, because I think this is important to know, because as I said to you before, people are breaking down every single thing that they've seen of Wendy over the years, things that she said, and even some of the things that she's wearing. So our friends over at Fashion Bomb Daily gives us the deets on her outfits, and they were very quick about it. Shout out to Claire. So they say this in the caption: Wendy Osefo promoted the new episode of RHOP wearing the $199 Raylin black and white business casual maxi dress by Miss Circle New York. And a lot of people in the comments were like, oh, I love a queen that is understood the assignment that you cannot be on social media posting big, expensive outfits right now. So this beautiful dress that she's wearing, she looks phenomenal, is about $199. Okay. So she didn't spend a lot. But you know what stood out to me? And I'm glad that I go through the comment section. What stood out to me was who supported Wendy in the comment section. And there were quite a few people that supported Wendy, people that you know and love. But when it comes to her cast, especially after what Ashley had to say on social media, I wasn't completely surprised, because I've heard that Stacey and Wendy seem to have a bond, and it seems like Wendy really has Stacey's back during the season, because a lot of people didn't have Stacey's back during the season. They're coming for Stacey, they're coming for her breath, they're coming for her relationship with TJ, they're coming for her reuniting with her husband. TMZ recently confirmed that Stacey actually did get a divorce. They've seen the divorce documents, which was under seal and in another state, not in Virginia like Ashley's divorce, which took 7 seasons, it feels like, for it to happen. But in the comment section of this post that Wendy posted, Stacey says, "Love you, heart emoji." And what stood out to me was Wendy's response. Wendy responds to Stacey and says, "Thank you for being a true friend and sister. I love you." White heart emoji. That stood out to me because I know Wendy had to see what Ashley had to say on socials. And look, I don't know the relationship with these women behind the scenes. It's one thing to watch an edited show. It's another thing to know what's happening really behind the scenes. However, I don't know of anything, even from behind the scenes. You know, I have sources. I don't know what exactly could have possibly happened between Wendy and Ashley to warrant a lack of empathy, especially as this is someone you really know in real life. It's one thing if we on social media react the way that we react, but you know this person. You know her kids. You probably have all hung out together with the kids. We've seen it. But the lack of empathy to make a joke about it. We're making melodies, which some people said those melodies feel more like felonies, and you should be charged and locked up.
Yup.
But that's what the streets were saying about Ashley and those quote melodies. But are all of the issues between Ashley and Wendy stem from the reunion? Girl, it wasn't even that deep. You were coming at Wendy over her very lighthearted joke talking about Josh, who's not even your boyfriend and looks like hired help for this season, as Jack Harlow. She's like, "Is that Josh Harlow?" You were so bothered by that. And it was like, why are you so bothered by that? If anything, she could have compared him to someone a lot more cornier. If she was going to at least make an association, Jack Harlow is not a bad association. But again, it could stem from other things that have happened behind the scenes. Regardless, why kick somebody while they're down? Especially, we have not heard Wendy's side. We have not heard whether or not she's going to fight this case. She did say that she looks forward to her day in court, but that doesn't mean that they won't take some sort of appeal. You may have also heard that Tamra Judge said that one of the neighbors, Wendy's neighbors, reached out to her. Again, I haven't seen this for myself. I'm just reporting to you what the streets have been saying since the last time we talked about this. According to Tamra Judge, one of the neighbors reached out to her and she says everyone in the neighborhood felt like it was insurance fraud. Wendy herself on Gabbing with Gib late last year, said that in the history of this neighborhood, 20-year history of this neighborhood, there has not been a robbery before. So then there's that. I'm just giving you all the information. You do with that what you will. So Wendy has returned to social media just in time for tonight's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. You know, we will be recapping it tomorrow afternoon. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed and turn on your notifications. And if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And let's continue this conversation in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching.
Here we go now.